some young people would argue, on the other hand, is that when you talk about the funds especially, some of them in the past have epically failed, you know, marred in corruption and have not been set up, eventually have not achieved what they were set up for. They've not benefited the youth. And others, even as much as they've been set up and you see the launches and they're awesome and you're told about all this money, they've not done anything to help get to the youth with that information. It's one hand for you to reach out for the information. It's one for even questions you pose on accounts perhaps that they may have, looking out for them online, visiting their offices. It's very little. Sometimes youth feel very frustrated when they try also to get that information because of these setups and forums and funds that are put together to help them.
Well, on the contrary, I want to say that Kenya is actually leading at the moment on the youth agenda. You saw the other day the president being rated the third best performing president in Africa. I'll tell you that the premise of that's purely on the youth agenda. If we're talking about the funds, there's Uwezo Fund.
Justify that? What do you mean?
To justify that, look at this. GOLAP is an international and renowned research institution. They wouldn't get into the politics of faking a research, but this is it. If you've gone around and you are looking at so many countries coming to Kenya to actually try and benchmark on what we're doing, look at the Uwezo Fund, for example, being given to the youth, women and people with disability is an affirmative action that is not anywhere else. We've got a youth fund at the moment, and youth fund has we actually have transformed youth fund. Is now doing majorly LPO financing, and that LPO financing is here actually to plug into the 30% that the government is giving to young people. There's no country on earth at the moment that has given 30% of its procurement. And you know the biggest businessman in any country is always the government. But there's no government at the moment that has given anywhere except Kenya, where 30% is reserved for young people. Now, we're ensuring that we give young people the tenders. Then once you get that tender, we give you the finance to do it. You cannot make it easy. I remember the other day President Museveni saying that we are spoon-feeding our youth. Nowhere else in this country, or rather in this world at the moment, are young people having as much opportunities. And when we talk about the 30%, we are talking about in excess of 200 billion shillings worth of business. That is the biggest promise the government and President Uhuru Kenyatta has given to the young people of this country. I know last year we performed dismally because young people were only able to take about 2 billion shillings out of the 200 worth of business. This year we actually have gone out and very much working hard to ensure that the uptake rises up. So it's actually incumbent upon young people. The government has given young people a blank check. It's for them to write in whatever they need. And the complaints about the funds not being receptive, you know, this is public money. And it's also not just going to, you cannot just stop by the roadside and start dishing out money. We actually are trying to help young people actually get into entrepreneurship, because knowing too well that all the people that matter in the world, all the people we admire, from Warren Buffett to Bill Gates, even locally here, you talk about Mike Sonko, he's a business person. You talk about the people.
But he dishes out money. He does not quite.
I'm talking about the people, the prominent people in society. Okay. The people that have made it in society are business people. So government is actually trying to spur up the culture of entrepreneurship among young people, and we've really gone so far to ensure that young people get a bit of these things a little bit easier, and the threshold has been brought down. I'll actually be honest with you. The threshold for young people has been brought down. Little bit of hard work, little bit of kuamka asubuhi na mapema na kutia bidii, and you make it.